I mean, the first time I did it was as a young 16, 17-year-old lad in the parachute regiment. I was given this green house, this rucksack, told to pull this equipment in it. It weighed about 30, 35 pounds, and it was something I wasn't used to. So psychologically, as soon as I put it on my back, I talked myself out of it. I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. But then, as we started to get into the march, I used to say to myself, he in front of me is my target. I need to be in front of him. I need to keep going. And when I was doing that, by the time I kind of focused on that, I was halfway around the 10 kilometre course, or a 10-mile walk. And I just kept doing that, and I felt, well, actually, I can do this. And it took a while, once you hit the hills, for your legs to adapt. It's almost like the blood flow is trying to force through your legs, and it slows you down. You know, you feel like your legs feel like lead. You feel like, geez, I'm not going to be able to do this. But you just plod at your pace as best you can and just keep going forward. And they taught us a momentum of moving with weight on your back. And it also represents carrying a weapon. When you're carrying a weapon, you've always got your both hands on the weapon. So it's this motion, the upper part of your body is swinging left to right gently. And that momentum takes you forward, naturally. So then your legs just follow. And as you do more and more, you become more and more attuned. It's almost like after about your third tab, it's called tab, with weight on your back, tactical advance to battle. That's what it represents, tab. And it means carrying weight. So after about your third one, it's a bit like running. You know, you steady your breathing, you're mentally tuned into it, your legs just do what they need to do, and they seem to be able to operate a lot better. But that, again, like anything, it comes with practice and experience, I guess. But yeah, by the third tab, I enjoyed it. It was not a threat to me at all. I was right at the front, I stayed at the front. And the difference between that and 9 years later when I joined the SAS was, the only addition to that was the distances were longer, the weight was more, and I had to navigate. So, which was a good thing because they took the focus off the weight on my back and how I felt, and focusing on direction and where I need to go. And while you're doing that, your mind's focusing on that, and by the time you've readjusted and calculated, you're a quarter of the way around. If you're going to carry weight, okay, the weight goes up on as high as you can get it, not down below at the back, small of your back. It goes up high so it sits on your shoulders. So what you carry, if you're going to carry stuff in a Bergen and weight, carry what is relevant. Carry spare clothing, carry water, carry food, stuff you could honestly use, even if you're only training. Because when you're up on the mountains, things can change in a heartbeat. At least you're prepared for it. Don't just carry a bag of sand. It's fucking useless. Carry that. Where you want to put the weight in is with water. Bottles of water, fluids, food, that sort of stuff. And it sits at the top. And when you put your Bergen on, or day sack, or whatever you want to call it, get it on and get it so that it fits comfortably. Okay, there's not a great deal of weight in this, so it doesn't really sit back a lot, but it will. So then you adjust the shoulder strap so it's not cutting your circulation off across your chest. I personally hate having that across my chest because I breathe heavy as I go uphill, and most people will, so have that relaxed. Okay, when you're coming downhill to control it, then put it on. But when you're going uphill, your lungs are going to expand, your arse is going to expand, your fucking head's going to expand, and you need it, so don't restrict it. So that's not restricted. The waistband, personal choice. Bergen, personal choice. All I'll say about the Bergen is that the shoulder straps at least sort of 4 fingers width, so it doesn't cut into you, yeah? And it sits high on your shoulders. And when you're going uphill, you form a momentum, and it looks a bit weird, but you sort of legs astride, and you're striding, and your momentum of that twist helps you moving forward, the momentum going forward. So you're leaning into the hill, and you're digging in, and you're pushing through, and keep looking up. Don't have your head just planted down, keep looking at where you're going. Pick a tree or whatever you're aiming for and go for it. And in your head, I always used to have this saying, that song, Never Gonna Break My Stride. And when I was on SAS selection, I used to say that every single day in my head. And I'd be going across the field thinking, nobody gonna break my stride. And I'd see somebody in front of me, and I'd go, he's my next target. Head down, see where he's going, pick a direction, I'll go. Just go. Next time I look up, I'm on him. Next week, I'm past him. Pick the next one, and so on, so forth. Yeah, because on an SAS selection, it's all about you have to do the distance over time, and it's down to you. But there's a minimum speed you have to go at, and I'm not allowed to say for whatever reason, but I won't. But it's a fast speed, and you have to maintain that. Whether it's uphill, downhill, makes no difference. You just got to go. And that's what I used to do. I used to have that mental thing in my head, bang. Now it's always a little further, go, go. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to tell you right now, mate, you know, I've seen it a million times. Everybody's got the top of the range Bergen, the top of the range boots, the top of the range this, that. Bollocks. It's simple. If the equipment fits you and you've worn it in, you're used to it, it's good enough. It doesn't matter what make it is. It's not about the equipment. That is again a state of mind. People ask me all the time, what boots do you wear? What? It doesn't matter what boots I wear, my fucking legs have still got to go the same distance. It doesn't matter what Bergen I'm wearing, it's still got to carry the same weight. Equipment isn't that, don't get me wrong, there is better equipment on the market, you know, the more waterproof, the more this, but the fact is, whatever the equipment is, as long as it's serviceable, and as long as you've broken it and it fits you, that's all that matters. It's down to you. It's the same as people going about gym and gym memberships. This is a gym. There ain't one exercise you do in the gym that I cannot do from my body and around me, not one. It's hard. It's always going to be hard. And like I say, the equipment, it's good to have good equipment, you know, but it doesn't mean because it's expensive and it's got a name, it's better, because that's not true. You know, I did all my marches in army issue boots. And people go, army issue boots, oh, they're shit. They weren't shit for me. They fitted me, they were comfortable, and I did it. So that's the truth. You know, as long as your equipment is serviceable, it fits, it's comfortable, that's all that matters. Forget, everybody's waiting for the tablet that gives them a six-pack. And guess what? It ain't fucking coming. If you want a six-pack, start doing sit-ups. Simple. People get this crazy idea of putting a fucking house on the back and running uphill. All you're doing there is hurting yourself. You're doing yourself a lot of damage to the small of your back, your knees, your ankles. Stupid. You know, I've heard people say do it, don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. What I will say is put a little bit of weight in your back, 20, 30 pounds, no more, and go nice and steady. Okay, and it's about controlling your breathing and just digging deep and getting used to having someone on your shoulders and building up your legs, getting your ill legs in proportion, you know, ready. So you're used to the blood flowing around your sort of legs as you're going up and down hill, because it is different to running. This is endurance, this is not cardio. It's about long distance, it's about sustaining and keeping mind focused and going through the pain barriers as you're going uphill, you know. The hardest part about having a house on your back and training is coming downhill, because that's where you've really got to slow it down and control it and zigzag down, because the damage and, you know, the pressure on your knees. So that's it. Going uphill is hard physically and it's mentally demanding, which is great. Coming downhill is about control and sensibility and not running with a fucking house on your back uphill. You can run along the flat or jog and downhill slightly, but that's it. You've got to say to yourself, you can do it. You've got to take out the vocabulary can't. Can't doesn't exist in this. Anything we finish, take that out, you can. You might not be able to do it as fast as some other people, but you can do it, and you will do it. And there's an old saying, you know, people say, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything you want. That's bullshit, you can't. If I could do that, I'd go knock Anthony Joshua out tomorrow. You can't do that. But what you can do is, you certainly can go a lot further than you thought you could do by saying you can. You know, and like I say, if you're trying, your aim is to complete 10 kilometers, 10 miles. If you do 5, you've done 5. The next time you do 6, you just don't give up. And that is a massive mental thing. So as long as you keep your mind focused and say, except one thing from the start, it's going to be hard. And as soon as you say that to your mind, it's going to be hard, you're ready for it. If you start looking for easy ways, easy options, it won't happen. That's you talking yourself out, that's your mind giving up already. Forget it, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it. As long as you say that, you will definitely do a lot better than you thought you would do. You may even do it first time. As many goals I tried for, I didn't get there first time, but I never gave up, kept going. And some I never reached, but I got to a better place than where I was before. That's a fact.